Hey guys, it's Tony. I am here today going to make something for you that I thought I would try and do a easy video, but no, that's not the way I roll. I couldn't just start with something simple. So I'm going to make a very intense carrot cake cupcake for you today. I'm actually making these for my sister for tomorrow for Easter, and it's a surprise, and she doesn't know I'm making them. But these are her favorite, so I'm going to make these for her for Easter for tomorrow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have already sifted some all-purpose flour in this bowl, and to that I'm going to sift in some baking soda, some cinnamon, and some salt. And you just want to sift that in so that there's no clumps of any of the spices or anything in your batter. And just give it a stir to mix that into your flour. And then we're going to set this aside. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this huge mixing bowl and I'm going to add my wet ingredients to that. I'm going to start with some sugar. And to that I'm going to add my eggs. And I've already broke my eggs into a separate bowl. I don't like breaking them directly into the bowl I'm using because I don't want to get shell in there. So if I break it into a smaller bowl, then I can make sure that there's no shell going into my cake or my cupcakes. I'm going to add some vanilla. And I'm going to add buttermilk. And I don't like to buy buttermilk. I don't use it that often, so I feel like it's a waste of money and it's a lot more expensive. So I usually just buy some whole milk and add some vinegar to it and let that sit about 10 to 15 minutes and it makes buttermilk. It's just the same as buying it. So put my buttermilk in there. Just kind of stir that up. And I'm actually making a double batch today because whenever I bake, I usually make a lot. The recipe that you'll probably make if you decide to make these at home will not be this much, so you will not probably need a bowl this big. Now that that's kind of mixed up a little bit, I'm going to just use my hand mixer and just get it good and incorporated. That's pretty well mixed up now. So what we want to do is add this flour mixture that we put together a few minutes ago. We just want to add that to this wet mixture. Just make sure we get it all in there. And this takes a few minutes, so especially when you're making this much. Just going to take my spatula and scrape down the edges. Just to make sure that you have all your dry incorporated into your wet. You just need to make sure that you scrape the sides of your bowl really well and the bottom of your bowl really well. So funny story, I actually am really kind of nervous about making videos and putting them online of myself, and but it's funny because whenever I'm in the kitchen by myself, I usually talk to myself as if I'm doing a cooking video, so this is kind of like not unusual for me. I'm just in here talking to myself like I always do, only it's being recorded, so hopefully it doesn't come off too terribly odd. I have all my wet ingredients incorporated with my dry ingredients now. So here's where we want to add our vegetable oil we'll put in now, and then also we will put in our carrots and our pecans. I'm going to go ahead and just use the mixer to incorporate this vegetable oil. I probably should have put it in whenever I put the eggs and stuff in, but it's okay. All right, now that I have all that in there, I'm going to put in my shredded carrots. Some crushed pineapple, and you need to make sure that you strain your pineapple really well and get all the juice out of it. You don't want it to add any extra moisture to your cake, and So I've been letting this drain for a little bit, and I just kind of push it out with my spatula to make sure that I get the rest of the excess juice out of there. Gonna add some pecans and some coconut flakes. If you don't like coconut flakes or the pecans, you can leave those out. Can't imagine anybody not liking pecans or coconut for that matter, but some people don't. I'm a super picky eater, so I can totally understand people not liking certain foods. And you just want to get all that incorporated. It kind of looks like a big mess in the bowl, but it's actually not. Okay, I've got it all mixed together. So I like to take, I'm actually really picky about my baking cups. Anytime you get cupcakes from me, or if you've ever had cupcakes from me, you always know that they're in an aluminum foil baking cup. I just like these because I feel like they keep the cake moist. Nobody likes a dry cake. And just scoop it in. This is the OXO brand medium scoop, and I've had this thing forever. It's what I always use for all my cupcakes. And they're kind of hard to find now. You might be able to find one online, but I found this one years ago, and I just always use it. And it just takes one scoop to make the perfect size cupcake. So I will finish filling these up, and I will get these in the oven. The oven has been preheated to 350. So I'm going to put these in there and just keep an eye on them. I usually check them after about 15 minutes and see how they're doing, see if they need any more time. And then once they come out of the oven, I'm going to make a buttermilk glaze to put on these. And then we'll make some cream cheese icing. I'm now making the buttermilk glaze that goes on top of the cupcakes. We want to go ahead and have this ready for the cupcakes when they come out of the oven. In this pot, I have put some sugar, some baking soda, some more of that buttermilk that I made from the whole milk and the vinegar, a stick of butter, and some light corn syrup. And we just want to whisk this. We actually want to bring it to a boil and let it boil for 4 minutes. And then we're going to add some vanilla in there to it. But it's going to make like a caramel almost consistency, and we'll use that to brush over the top of the cupcakes. If you guys have never used these little flat whisks, I highly recommend these. I love these things. I think the Pioneer Woman brand is who I have. I think I have like 4 of them. But they are so easy to use, and they're a lot easier than like a traditional whisk. But I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and bring this to a boil and let it boil for about 4 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you guys when I add the vanilla. Okay, so the buttermilk glaze just completed 4 minutes of boiling, and I'm going to add in there a teaspoon of vanilla. You take that off the heat and then add in just a little bit of vanilla. Stir that in. And see how it gets this nice, like, caramel color to it? And then we will have this ready to put on our cupcakes when they come out. So I just took the first batch of carrot cake cupcakes out of the oven. They were in there about 19 minutes, and I tested them with a toothpick, and they came out perfect. So I'm going to take the buttermilk glaze and just take a brush and just brush that over each one of the cupcakes. It kind of just soaks down in there. It does kind of leave your counter a little bit sticky, so if you want to put a piece of wax paper or something underneath that, you can definitely do that. Sometimes I do. Today I obviously did not. Totally forgot that. Oops. And I don't know if y'all have ever tried to make a video by yourself, of yourself. It's not easy. But I'm going to finish glazing all these cupcakes. I have a few more in the oven. And then once we get that done, I will start on the icing, so I'll come back and do that. I have got the last batch of cupcakes in the oven, and we are going to let those finish baking and then cool. And while they are finishing, I'm going to go ahead and start on the frosting. So this is going to be a pretty traditional cream cheese frosting. In the mixer, I've already got some butter, and to that, I'm going to add cream cheese. I've let this butter and cream cheese soften on the counter all day. That way it's good and soft and can mix together. And again, I'm making a double batch, so since I made more cupcakes, you will not have to make this much icing if you only make a single batch. And let me say this, do not, I repeat, do not make a double batch of the glaze, the buttermilk glaze. One batch is more than plenty for all the cupcakes I made. I will probably be able to glaze all the cupcakes I made again, twice, before I frost them with the one batch of glaze. It makes quite a bit. So, like I said, I've got my cream cheese, I've got my butter. I am just going to lift this up, and I'm going to start my mixer and just let these get good and incorporated, and then we'll come back and add some sugar. Okay, I went ahead and finished the cream cheese icing. I did switch over to my whisk attachment on my mixer. I don't know why I had the paddle on there, not the whisk. It actually incorporates more air into your icing and makes it a lot fluffier. So I did go ahead and switch over to that. Added the vanilla and the powdered sugar. So all that's in that icing is the cream cheese, the butter, the vanilla, and the powdered sugar. And I went ahead and put it in a cake decorating bag. I like the big round tips on the ends. If you don't have a cake decorating bag, you can definitely just use a Ziploc bag and cut the end off, and it's going to make like that round design, same as if you use a round tip. I did see today that if you want to start cake decorating and you don't have any tips or any bags, the Dollar General Market in Livingston actually had some. So they have tips, they have bags, they have cake pans, they have icing coloring, and all kinds of neat stuff. So if you're wanting to take up cake decorating and want to start with some inexpensive cake decorating supplies and just make sure it fits for you, you can check those out. Definitely a learning curve for decorating while you video. Much better. Much better. And then I just take a little bowl of some chopped pecans, and you can either just sprinkle those on the top, or you can roll them around the edges, however you prefer to do it. But that's my finished cupcake, and I appreciate you guys for staying with me. I know this video is kind of lengthy. I'll try to keep it shorter next time and not do such a video with so many steps. So I do appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.